Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 25th edition of Trending Politics Live. As you guys know here, my name is Clayton Kearns. We're going to get started. We have a lot to talk about. We have so much to talk about today, so we're going to dive right into it, everybody. Want to welcome everybody in. Thank you all for joining me here. And let's get started. Let's just jump right into it, guys. As many of you guys know, last night was night one of the RNC, and it was already far more successful than anything that the DNC put on last week. It appears that the RNC corrected all the mistakes that the DNC made. They had better speakers. The trains ran on time. The speeches were short, concise, to the point. They were very powerful in their remarks. So let's just jump right into it. There's a few really good right off the bat. As many of you guys saw, Senator Tim Scott absolutely eviscerated Joe Biden. And let's get into one of his comments. First of all, we're going to talk about how his amazing story about how his family literally went from, in his own words, cotton to Congress in one generation. Check it out.
My grandfather's 99th birthday would have been tomorrow. Growing up, he had to cross the street if a white person was coming. He suffered the indignity of being forced out of school as a third grader to pick cotton, and he never learned to read or write. Yet, he lived long enough to see his grandson become the first African American to be elected to both the United States House and the United States Senate in the history of this country. Our family went from cotton to Congress in one lifetime.
Wow.
And that's why I believe the next American century can be better than the last.
Amazing.
There are millions of families just like mine all across this nation, full of potential, seeking to live the American dream. And I'm here tonight to tell you that supporting the Republican ticket gives you the best chance of making that dream a reality. God bless you. And Father, please continue blessing the United States of America. God bless.
So that was the end of his speech there. That was the end of his speech. I'm going to show you something else from his speech as well, but that line was so powerful. So I misspoke. I said lifetime or generation. I meant lifetime. What a powerful story that this man, his grandfather got to see him become the first African-American elected to the House and the Senate. It's just absolutely amazing. This guy is amazing. He went off on Joe Biden so much. So let's see his line of attack on Joe Biden, because as you guys know, Joe Biden infamously said that if you don't vote for Joe Biden, that you aren't black. He actually said that. So let's listen to what Tim Scott has to say about that.
I'm going to ask you, the American people, not to simply look at what the candidates say, but to look back at what they've done. This election is about your future, and it is critical to paint a full picture of the records of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Joe Biden said if a black man didn't vote for him, he wasn't truly black. Joe Biden said black people are a monolithic community. It was Joe Biden who said poor kids can be just as smart as white kids. And while his words are one thing, his actions take it to a whole new level. In 1994, Biden led the charge on a crime bill that put millions of black Americans behind bars. President Trump's criminal justice reform law fixed many of the disparities Biden created and made our system more fair and just for all Americans. Joe Biden also failed our nation's historically black colleges and universities, heaping blame on them as they fought to ensure our young folks had access to higher education. Once again, to clean up Joe Biden's mess, President Trump signed into law historically high funding for HBCUs, as well as a bill to give them permanent funding for the first time ever.
Thank you.
And now Joe Biden wants to come for your pocketbooks. Unless, of course, you're a blue state millionaire. I'm serious. That's one of their solutions for the pandemic. They want.
I mean, I'm going to show you some ratings analysis here. So according to C-SPAN, it looks like the GOP actually far outperformed the RNC outperformed the DNC on C-SPAN by a measure of 6 times on night number 1. That Tim Scott speech, everybody, went viral on social media. We're going to get the Nielsen ratings here pretty soon on the TV ratings, but I can only hope that the ratings were in the 20 to 25 million, because guys, that Tim Scott message needs to be replayed over and over and over again, you guys. That was, in my opinion, probably the best speech of the night. He wasn't, I mean, of course he attacked Joe Biden and it was partisan, but the way he articulated himself was absolutely masterful. It was absolutely masterful. So as I told you guys here, the first night of the RNC got nearly 6 times more views on C-SPAN than the DNC did a week prior. More analysis says the C-SPAN live stream of the start of the RNC had 440,000 views compared to the DNC's opening night, which brought in 76,000 views, guys. That's over 6 times the viewership that the RNC had on C-SPAN, everybody. This is huge. There's swells of energy, guys, for the Republican Party, for the message that President Trump and the GOP have. All of the lines of attack that the left are using are not working, everyone. They're not working. So now let's go here to just a couple seconds here of Matt Gaetz. He started off his speech with fire and fury. He came out swinging against, he poked some fun at Joe Biden in his first line. Check it out, everyone. You're going to want to see this if you haven't already. This is Matt Gaetz.
I'm Congressman Matt Gaetz. I'm speaking to you from an auditorium emptier than Joe Biden's daily schedule. But we are a nation of full hearts and clear minds. We see the choice clearly: strength or weakness, energy or confusion, success or failure. President Trump is the first president since Reagan not to start a new war. Biden has foolishly cheerled decades of war without winning, without end. President Trump knows we are strongest when we fight hardest, not in distant deserts, but for our fellow Americans. We must fight to save America now, or we may lose her forever. Joe Biden might not even notice. Settle for Biden. That's the hashtag promoted by AOC and the socialists.
Yep.
The Woketopians will settle for Biden because they will make him an extra in a movie written, produced, and directed by others. It's a horror film, really. They'll disarm you, empty the prisons, lock you in your home, and invite MS-13 to live next door. And the police aren't coming when you call. In Democrat-run cities, they're already being defunded, disbanded. Blaming our best and allowing society's worst, that's the story they write in Hollywood. That's if the lights even stay on in California anymore. A state that cannot keep power running for its own people should not send its junior senator to be vice president.
Brutal.
They used to write only in fiction, but nightmares are becoming real. Cops killed, children shot. At the Democrat convention, they say, if you vote against Trump, it will all stop. Appeasement is never a winning strategy. No, we won't settle for violence in our neighborhoods or at our border. We won't settle for decades of bad decisions by basement-dwelling Joe Biden.
Yes.
We settle a continent. We know that the frontier, the horizon, even the stars belong to us. Donald Trump, like all builders, is a visionary. That which is built in the mind is even more powerful than the brick and mortar that holds it together. First comes the mind, then the making. First comes the vision, then the work. Washington, Lincoln, and Jefferson are immortal precisely because of the pull they have on our imagination. You cannot cancel a culture that loves its heroes.
That's amazing. I mean, Matt Gaetz hit it out of the park last night. Tim Scott had hit it out of the park. I mean, my entire show today could just be showing you clips of everything that happened, but we got a lot of clips up on trendingpolitics.com. We've got a lot. So guys, it was an amazing night, an absolutely amazing night. So amazing, in fact, that CNN's Wolf Blitzer made a damaging admission about how efficient night one of the RNC was. Now, pay very close attention to his panelists. So Wolf Blitzer basically says, hey, night one, whether you agree or disagree, was very efficient and everything ran on time. And his three co-panelists didn't look too pleased that he was saying this live on air.
I think it's fair to say this first night of the Republican National Convention, whether you agree or disagree, so far there have been a lot of speakers, has been sort of well-produced, very efficient. They're moving along pretty much on time. Here's the senator.
I mean, the woman on the far right looked like she was had a 10% of a smile, and that she was trying everything in her power to keep that smile up. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. And the speech was, night one was so amazing that Donna Brazile absolutely melted down this morning over night one. She got into it with Tammy Bruce on Fox News. You cannot miss this exchange that I'm about to show you. Watch Tammy Bruce go into Donna Brazile, and Donna Brazile melted down. She wasn't even talking about anything that went on last night. She's just spouting off these ridiculous, tired, old talking points. Check this out.
Directly, it's about education, it's about healthcare, it's about faith, and it is about a man who cares about the American people more than he cares about his next job and winning in the sense of, oh, it's just got to be about the next election. He has given up everything, as has his family, to change this nation and get her back on her feet so we as Americans can live lives that best suit us. If you're going to see the incredibly moving stories ranging from Tim Scott to Nikki Haley showing that we can deal with violence, racial violence, in a way where we come together. No Democrat has spoken out against the nature of what's happening in Kenosha, Portland, Seattle, Baltimore, New York, Chicago. Americans have a choice. And the fact is that the Republicans are showing an expanse of what the American sensibility is and what the American future is. It's not some discussion over some seminar.
Here we go.
This is why the choir sounds like
you want to win the next election.
From a scratch record. It sounds like I will never be an American in your world, because after 400 years, my family cannot.
Of course you are.
That is not what anyone
walk out this house without fearing violence.
No one is saying that.
Tammy, listen,
Donna,
yes, you are, because you're Tammy, you are saying that to me.
Last night was your message as well.
What are you saying to me?
Last night was your. What was it about last night
Tammy,
you liked,
you need
Donna?
to listen as well as talk.
So you want to know what Tammy's saying to you. So let Tammy answer.
I listen to you, and what you do is you ignore the pains of people who are hurt.
What was it about last night that you did not feel you could relate to?
Tammy, hold on one second.
What was it about?
Good, just say, Tammy, hold on one second. Donna, okay. So Donna, your point is you're ignoring 400 years. So let Tammy answer you.
Don't be so condescending and patronizing to tell me.
What is up with her?
Tammy, the story
Donna,
of people
let her answer you.
Let her answer you.
She just described.
Are just as important.
She doesn't want an answer.
Donna, let her answer.
What is up?
Let her
She
answer.
doesn't want an answer.
When you
She
say
doesn't.
That. No, Tammy.
No, Donna, hold on. Donna, hold on.
Respectful.
Tammy, answer. Did you put down Did you ignore 400 years?
I think that none of us are.
She ignored,
I asked Tammy, Donna.
She ignored the reality of what is happening.
She's not letting her talk.
No,
because they don't see it.
Yeah, no,
Tammy,
I'm not.
I see it every day. I see the violence.
Donna, you got to let her finish. You got to let her finish.
Brian, but you got me up this morning to let me listen to this diatribe.
No, you've spoken most of the time.
Who does not live my existence and does not recognize my existence. You do not recognize my existence, Tammy. You do not recognize my existence.
Oh my God.
Let's just make it clear.
We're all on the same table as Americans.
This is ridiculous.
All Americans. Praise the Lord.
This is it. We brought you up for one reason, to talk about night one and preview night two if we had the time. No one brought you up to talk about not acknowledging existence. We're talking about night one, how you interpreted it, night one, how you interpreted it. Yeah. So I don't know how it got off the rails.
You're the shameful one, Tammy. You're the shameful one because
nobody's shameful. You both offered analysis. Thank you very much.
Next time,
but this is what happens.
You will not erase my history.
This is what the Democrats do.
We'll talk about night. We're going to be talking
about
this is what.
All right. That's not.
That was one of the most irritating things to watch. Donna Brazile did not let Tammy Bruce speak at all. She had an utter meltdown over the entire night one. Tammy Bruce didn't say anything about her not mattering or her not being an American. She's playing the victim mentality. She's playing the mentality of, well, my family has gone through so much. Last night's speeches were about inspiration. They were about hope. They were about things that we can all do together to get America to an even better place. Did she not listen to Tim Scott's message at all? Did she not watch the speech? I mean, I should probably answer that myself. She absolutely didn't listen to the speech. She absolutely didn't listen to the speech, because if she had, then she would have a much different mindset about all this, guys. But you see, guys, the Democrats don't want peace between the parties. They just want a reason to shout and cry victim. That's the only thing that they ever want to do. They don't want to reach across the aisle. They don't want common ground. That was one of the most despicable displays I have ever seen in my entire life, you guys. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. I was able to put up some of your guys' comments here, but it was absolutely ridiculous. What on earth is she even talking about, you guys? So that clip is going all viral. I don't even know what else to say about that. But, on that note of Tammy Bruce bringing up the fact of what's going on right now in Kenosha. And by the way, you guys, I want to just give you guys a little bit of a forewarning here. As many of you guys know, I run trendingpolitics.com. Where are we at? Right here, trendingpolitics.com, okay? Google runs ads on our website. They are now saying that we can no longer put up video clips of the violence going on in Kenosha without them slapping us on the wrists. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely ridiculous, you guys. So I don't know what to say about that. So I can't even show you all the videos of what's going on in Kenosha and the riots and the car dealerships that are burning down, because apparently they're going to censor us for that. So if you guys want to see those clips, go to Twitter. It's all over Twitter. But for whatever reason, they're targeting us for getting the truth out about that. Ideally, I would love it if we could just publish it anyways, you guys. But we would have the risk of our website being severely punished, and where our operations wouldn't be able to thrive as much as they are now. So go look that up, you guys. But I'm able to show you a quick glance of certain images, because most of you are watching this on Facebook. We still have 2,500 people on here live, which is amazing. I want to welcome you guys all here. Make sure you're going to trendingpolitics.com all day. But this is what fake news looks like, everybody. The New York Times and the left and the Democrats, they're going to put the Babylon Bee out of business, people. They are going to put the Babylon Bee out of business. Look at this headline from the New York Times. With fires in the background, they say peaceful marches in Kenosha, Wisconsin, against police shooting of a black man gave way to fires and destruction. Let me read that again. Peaceful marches in Kenosha, Wisconsin, against the police shooting of a black man gave way to fires and destruction. Let me ask you a question, people. Do they think that we're stupid? Do they think that we are morons and idiots? What on earth are they talking about? They have a picture of police officers with guns, fire in the background, calling it peaceful. It's headlines like this that are going to lose the election for the Democrats, because they're trying to look at us and tell us that we aren't smart enough, that we believe every single thing that they tell us. So here's just a little very sad testimonial from a man whose business has been destroyed in Wisconsin. Why? Because Antifa and Black Lives Matter and the left believe that it's okay to do this because of another cop shooting, which by all intents and by everything that we're seeing right now was justified. I will do a show on it most likely later this week, but I don't have all the clips yet. I don't have all the information. From what we do know, though, is that he brawled with the police beforehand in Kenosha. He went into his car. He had a knife on him as well. This is not just cops just going up to someone. So here we go. This man's business was destroyed. Why? In the name of Black Lives Matter and in the name of social justice. It's a very, very sad story, everyone. Take a look at this.
This morning, get up, come down here, and
his business was burnt down.
What I see, I was not prepared for. I knew it was going to be a disaster, but I didn't know what a disaster looked like till I saw it.
And you, I can hear the emotion in what you're saying. I mean, what is the family feeling right now?
It's tough. This is a business that my parents started 40 years ago, small, out of their garage. It was a small business. Did it just to make a few extra dollars, and eventually it grew. 31 years ago, they bought this building, and so we've been here ever since. They're very upset about it. It's emotionally hurtful. We didn't do anything to anybody. Why did we deserve it?
Sir, just my final question.
So this man's crime, having a business in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That was this man's crime. Of his family-owned business for 40 years. And the Democrats and protests believe that it was a good idea to burn his business to the ground. That's how the radical left protesters deal with something. And you know what? It's bad enough that the protesters are doing it, and it's bad enough that these people are most likely going to be voting for Joe Biden. But what's even worse is that the Democrats are not condemning any of this violence, you guys. This is borderline freaky scary, okay? We have the Democrat Party of the United States of America, who during the DNC did not mention once about riots and about looting. They could have easily said, hey, everyone, we're glad that you want to protest for social justice, but just don't burn the place down. Like, violence isn't who we are. But guess what? Their party has turned so radical that they can't even do that. They can't even do that, you guys. It's getting bad out there. Now, the media is spurring this on, everybody. I need every single person to pay very close attention to the video I'm about to show you. Watch the lower third chyron here on CNN, okay? The media is complicit in promoting this violence and downplaying the violence that's going on in the streets. A CNN producer accidentally put the truth in the lower third of the CNN chyron. But watch what happens when the chyron disappears and reappears. Look at how the text changes. It goes from saying violent protesters to just protesters. Watch this.
Let's go to CNN's Omar Jimenez. He's in Kenosha for us. Omar, this incident was captured on video. We want to warn our viewers that the video is graphic, very hard to watch. But set the scene for us. Walk us through what you're learning.
Now watch. Watch.
That's right, Wolf. Well, there are a lot of investigations playing out right now trying to figure out what led up to Jacob Blake being shot. But what we do know for sure is that people are angry. They have expressed that anger through.
They changed it on the fly from violent protests to protests. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't know who has the the gift of observation to see that and to notice that. But bravo to whoever caught that, because that is going viral all over Twitter right now. CNN, again, being complicit in downplaying the violence that is going on in these streets, everyone. It is absolutely despicable. I want to show you a couple videos here, but I'm afraid I don't know if our video is going to get taken down. So you guys, I did a live stream on Friday, and they took the entire, YouTube took the entire video down. And I believe it was because I showed a video of Joe Biden supporters ripping the hat off of a 7-year-old boy and taking his sign. Basically, YouTube said that that went against their rules and violation. It was a community guidelines violation. So I'm kind of afraid to show you what I'm about to show you, but I guess let's test it out and see. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is they're going to take it down from YouTube. So this is what the mob has turned into, you guys. The mob is now demanding that white people in restaurants in Wisconsin raise their fists in support of Black Lives Matter, and they are hounding people if they don't do it, guys. This is the left. Be warned, you guys. This video is disturbing. So let's watch this, okay? I hope we don't get taken down here, but let's see what happens. Video clips like that, you guys, make me sick. But that's not all. This couple here at another restaurant was just simply enjoying their meal, and Black Lives Matter came up to them and basically told them to put their fists in the air and hounded them down and flipped them off when they didn't comply.
Put your mask on now, huh? Motherfucker. Tasty piece of shit. Motherfucker. White supremacy. Hey! Get somebody here.
So, if you don't raise your fist for the mob, if you don't bend the knee to the mob, then they call you a white supremacist. That is what has come to our society in 2020, everyone. This is the left. Can you imagine if we Trump supporters went up to people and were hounding them and says, if you don't say, make America great again, you're a piece of scum? Guys, it would be front page news. These clips are making me sick all over again. As I was preparing for this live stream, I was getting sick. Now it's just bubbling up in me. Like, I see all the comments here, you guys. This is why we have to reelect President Trump in 2020, guys. In November, we are less than 70 days away, people. If we do not reelect President Trump, the videos you just saw are going to be, let me ask you this, everyone. What would stop Joe Biden from forcing and being able to enforce certain tyrannical guidelines to try to make us support Black Lives Matter, to force us to bend the knee, or else, I mean, who knows? Could they punish us? I don't know. We can't rule anything out. There's a great saying that I adopt for so many things. It's called in for a penny, in for a pound. Guys, if Joe Biden were to ever get into office, we just took one step closer, a giant step towards a very, very scary future in the United States of America. The violence that you're seeing against Trump supporters, the mob mentality. This is all Democrats. Meanwhile, President Trump is running on jobs, the economy, and making America great again after the Chinese virus tanked our economy. So guys, if you're going to be voting for President Trump, then I want you to put jobs, not mobs, in the comment section below. Jobs, not mobs. And as some of you say, you can also comment, never bend the knee, whichever one you guys prefer. Jobs, not mobs, or never bend the knee. This is absolutely ridiculous, and we need to keep calling it out, everyone. Okay? So, the last thing I want to talk to you a little bit about here is that Hillary Clinton is also going to put the Babylon Bee out of business. Coming from the woman who in 2016, before she lost the election, said President Trump, if he loses, he's not going to accept the results. Well, it's 4 years later, and not only has Hillary Clinton not accepted the results, but now she's telling Joe Biden that if he loses, then he shouldn't accept the results. So this is what the article says here. Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances. Hillary Clinton says Biden should prepare for a legal battle. This is coming from the same people who say that Trump isn't going to accept the results of the election. This is coming from the people who are saying that they want to take President Trump out of the White House by force if he loses the election. Nancy Pelosi says that they want to use the military to take Trump out of the White House if he loses. According to the report, Hillary Clinton says, I think Republicans have a couple of scenarios that they are looking toward. One is messing up absentee balloting. They believe that helps them, so they then maybe get a narrow advantage in the Electoral College on Election Day. So we've got to have a massive legal operation, and I know the Biden campaign is working on that. Hillary said she believes that a close race, if it went to the court, would break in Biden's favor if he was just able to hold out long enough. She said, Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances because I think this is going to drag out. And eventually, I do believe he will win if we don't give an inch and if we are as focused and relentless as the other side is. So everyone, what I just read to you tells me something. Is that even if President Trump wins the 2020 election, this is not over. This is not over by a long shot, everyone. Hillary Clinton and the Democrats are going to fight to the death over this election, even if they lose. Everybody, no matter where you're commenting from, we need to show out in full force for President Trump in 2020. We need to vote in person, wear a mask if you have to, vote in person, and punch your ticket for President Trump. We need this election to leave no doubt. We need this election to leave no doubt, everyone, because I'll tell you what, the Democrats are not going to go quietly into the night, everyone. Hillary Clinton just told you that they are going to go to legal war against the Trump campaign if Joe Biden loses. They want every ounce of power that they can get, everyone. So if you're going to be voting for President Trump in November, I need you to comment saying Trump 2020 from wherever. Trump 2020 from California, Trump 2020 from Pennsylvania, Trump 2020 from Arizona, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, New York, wherever you are, if you are representing the Trump train, guys, we cannot leave a doubt in anyone's mind We need this to be a blowout of the election. We need this to be a landslide. So I need to see, and I'm going to put your comments up here on the screen, everyone. All right? We got Trump 2020 from Connecticut. Trump 2020 from New York. We got Trump 2020. Oh, man, you guys are all commenting. Wow, here we go. I'm going to just click as fast as I can, everyone. Nebraska, Massachusetts, Missouri. We got Arizona in the house. Texas. Pennsylvania. Guys, I can't even keep up with all the comments here. Tennessee, Georgia, Michigan, Sacramento, California. We've got Florida, South Carolina, California, Minnesota, Texas, Michigan, Kentucky, South Carolina, Northern California, Idaho, Colorado, Georgia, Ohio, Illinois, Florida, Texas, Iowa, West Virginia. Everybody, welcome in. I'm so glad you guys are here commenting. California, we need every single person who's commenting right now to vote for President Trump. Because as I said, you guys, we can leave absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind, because Hillary Clinton and the Democrats are going to fight to the death for this election. And we can't let them do it, everyone. So with that said, all of you commenting, we're getting literally hundreds of comments a minute here. You guys are all amazing. Vote Trump 2020, says Patricia. Patricia, I see you on every live stream. Thank you always for tuning in. You guys are all amazing. That's it for today's live stream, everybody. Share this live stream with anyone you know. We're going to be doing a rebroadcast of this live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be doing a watch party on all of our different huge Facebook pages, okay? So make sure, if you guys maybe are just catching the tail end of this and you don't have time to rewind and go watch the replay, we are going to be doing another watch party with everyone tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I might go 4 p.m. because the DNC is going to start. Actually, it'll start around 6 o'clock. So I think it'll be just perfect if we do it at 5 p.m. so that we can lead y'all right into night 2 of the 2020 RNC. Okay, everybody. So we're going to be doing a live broadcast stream, everyone. Make sure that you're checking out trendingpolitics.com all day. Guys, I can't stress how important this is. Go to trendingpolitics.com and make sure you're reading all of our articles. It's a great source for truth. Go to ilovemyfreedom.com, everybody. We're coming out with new merch all the time, every single week. We've got emergency food supplies there for if things ever hit the fan. We've got Trump 2020 masks. We've got patriotic T-shirts, Second Amendment flags, Second Amendment shirts, 30 American citizens working in the great state of Kansas, shipping things out to you guys every single day from our fulfillment center out there. We've got a really thriving operation serving you guys, the American people. We love each and every one of you guys. And also, everybody, we are just wrapping up the physical newsletter. Let me see if I have one here. So every month, you guys, we put out a physical newsletter. You know how I was saying earlier about how the media likes to censor us online? Well, guess what? They can't censor us here. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. And actually, in the September edition of our physical newsletter, we're going to be talking about the riots. We're going to be talking about the violence going on in Democrat cities across the country and how the Democrats are complicit in it. We have over 35 pages of stone cold content in our September edition. Our September edition is our 1-year anniversary of the newsletter. We have blinked and it's gone by so fast, you guys. We have amazing columns coming out, everyone. Go to tpnewsletter.com and subscribe. There's only a couple months left before the election, you guys. We have thousands and thousands of people subscribed to this, reading every issue. Guys, it's a great thing to have as a keepsake to remember where you were, what was going on in these months during the election. We've got a lot of great things coming up here, you guys. So if you want to make sure to get the August edition or the September edition, you guys, make sure to subscribe as soon as possible, and you'll get the August edition, and then you'll get the September edition here as well next month. Okay, everyone? So every single one of you guys, I appreciate every one of you for jumping on. Make sure you're going to Trending Politics every single day, downloading our app in the App Store, sharing our articles with your friends and family, guys, because there is nothing more powerful than the word of mouth. You guys, I love you guys. We're going to be talking tomorrow at the same time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be recapping night 2 of the RNC, and there's going to be a lot of great things to talk about. We've got amazing speakers here tonight. So to all of you guys, still well over 1,000 of you on here, I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to see you guys over there on trendingpolitics.com, and we'll be talking to you very, very soon. You guys all have a great rest of your night.